Hello and welcome to Let's Play Wildermyth. This is actually going to be my second attempt at recording this video. I recorded about an hour of gameplay, and there had been a problem with my windows resulting in the color balance being horribly wrong. Anyway, long story short, that's fixed. We are going to go ahead and try again. I'll be a little more aware of what I'm doing this time too, so there will probably be a little bit of less time wasted on control confusion, now that I kind of know how to play. So this is a game that was recommended to me by a friend, and it is a kind of, seems to be a procedurally generated story building game. We're going to end up controlling a party of heroes, much like you might in a tabletop RPG. The gameplay is very tactical, very reminiscent of exactly playing with minis on a tabletop. And the story seems to be set in a world that's magic is kind of rising up. Things are changing very rapidly. There are monsters now there didn't seem to used to be. And the game's conceit is that the choices you make throughout, while seemingly mundane and simple, can dramatically transform the lives of these characters and where they go. And you end up controlling this adventuring band, and you might have some characters die off, but later you'll have their child join, or something like that, where the legacy continues on, and it's very important to be, building up this story both for your immediate objectives and because you're trying to, be heroes. You're trying to create stories. So, it's a pretty fascinating premise. The gameplay I've already seen was quite fun. And we are going to go ahead and start a new story since I can't really go back on the one I started. And we will go from there. We're starting with The Age of Ulstrix, a 3-chapter story that's geared towards new players. I got through part of the first chapter, not very far at all. We face off against the implacable Gorgon leader, Ulstrix. We're going to set the difficulty to Adventurer, which is pretty standard. And I check Carved in Stone. What that means is it's essentially an Iron Man save, in order to prevent you from just loading if something goes wrong. For this type of game, this feels much more appropriate to me. I gotta be honest, I kinda have a hard time resisting the urge to load when a decision goes poorly, and I don't want that temptation to be there, so we're just going with this. Looks like it gave us some randomly generated numbers for our map seed. I wonder if that will accept letters. They often do. No, it will not. Okay, so we'll just leave that on in, and let's jam. It takes a minute initially as we build it, because it's building a world and generating a lot, so there might be a few moments early on where it's stuck loading for a few moments. We have got a future warrior and cowardly loner, Janathia, a future hunter who's a compassionate leader, Nolir, and a future mystic who is a greedy hothead named Lunthea. Alright, these actually are very different. I think like 2 of them were romantic instead of loner, leader, or hothead. So these personalities, I'm sorry, y'all don't get to see the previous one. Maybe I'll upload the horribly yellow one just so people can see it, with the caveat that, yeah, the color is all fucked up. But let's see what Shaggy and these 2 ladies have for us. Growing the lands. It takes just a bit of time to put all this together. Get ready. This is what I was talking about earlier. Oh, went much quicker that way. Excellent. This book. There's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. I'm not giving up, world. You hear me? But no harm in scribbling a few words while I'm bored, I guess. That's already different from the line that the person in this role had last time, so I think that's definitely dependent on those personalities. Yeah, fine, so this is the beginning. Here in our yondering country, something in the woods is very strange. Concerned only with the prospect of ordinary strangers, a young woman named Janathia takes the seasonal road to the town of Painted Fend. The character in this position was definitely like going to an existing friend, so I think that loner personality type is affecting this. The road's nice in winter, the town maybe less so. Hopefully I don't see anyone who remembers me. Well, but who would remember me? I don't remember them. Breeze is light that day. Birds are timid. In fact, the whole world is taking a breath, ready to leap in the sea. I'm there already, huh? Here's the hard part, getting Nolir out of the house, out of the town before dark. I'm sure everyone's going to want to bend his ear, and I'll just be... That's... smoke? Fluttering flames roost among the far-off rooftops. Janathia hurries towards town, thinking of Nolir, a young man whom she's known since girlhood. Can choose to indicate what kind of relationship these two have. With rivalry, it's watch me worry and he's fine. Friendship, he must have tried to cook breakfast again. Or romance. I don't know why I mean, there's no way he... Humph. I don't know about that. Let's go for friendship. Nolir? You alright? I'll get you out. Just make a little noise. Constructing the mission. We've got to rescue our acquaintance, since this person doesn't really have friends. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to pop up the tip again to explain it, but basically we've got the movement range indicated there. The green range means it's only taking one of her two major actions, thus allowing her to still attack or, say, put out a fire. Whereas if I move her into the yellow range, it ends her turn as she has spent both of her actions on moving. Feels very familiar to me because tabletop RPGs, like I mentioned. Gonna pop over here. Get that fire put out. Gonna head up here. Get that fire put out. Head over to the door. Not gonna be able to actually open it until next turn. But now that we're here, we can open the door. His house is still standing, at least. Nolir? Shout something! She doesn't know. Why is no one? The door unlocks with a click. Nolir shoves it open. Hey, do you not smell the... I smell the smoke. Get inside! Your bow. Yeah, there's things in the streets. You didn't see any? Like monsters, I don't know. I've got one trapped behind... Grrroooo! Behind the house. We'll burn in here. Can we... I mean, we could try and fight it? Right. So here, I've got some tools around. You're stronger than I am. You can swing something pretty good. I bet we can at least drive it off. We can choose a pitchfork. Well, I'd like to keep this creature at arm's length. A pickaxe. If it breaks stones, it'll break bones. Or a frying pan. This is for cooking. Why'd I grab this? You know, let's go for the frying pan. Last time I went for the spear. It can be killed, right? Just be ready when you open that door. Okay, we're gonna move her up to the door. And we're gonna set Nolir behind her with the bow at the ready. That little shield icon, anytime you have two of your characters standing next to each other, they are walling in a defensive formation, and will reduce any incoming damage. Pretty useful. Alright, Nolir's gonna wait a turn. Janathia, open the door. Oh, well, no one right away. Let's advance. Ah, there it is! Gonna have Nolir come on up behind her. And they're still out of range to shoot, but if we stop here, I bet it'll come forward. Or maybe not. Oh, no, I have to stop for both of them. My bad. The row advances. And runs to the house instead of attacking us. I don't really understand, but I will take it. Oh, wrong! I wish I could undo that. I meant to be controlling Nolir. Oh, well. Nolir, can you just take a shot from there? 43%. What if we bring you out here? Let's get you walling with Janathia. 71%. Much better. It dodged. We're going to move her up here to maybe pin it in place so it can't come after Nolir. Oh, it goes right around. I guess that doesn't actually matter. Okay. Janathia, take it out. I'm gonna have you move here. And take a swing. There we go. We have defeated the row. Janathia has grown stronger. Warriors like Janathia are built hardy, enduring, with a natural aptitude for battle. They develop powerful techniques for close combat. We get random choices every level up, it seems. These are different from the options I had before. We have Engage. As a swift action, Janathia engages a foe, forcing it to attack her. Janathia must stay in range and maintain a clear line of sight. +1 armor per engaged foe, so that's a taunt. We've got Shield Shear. Once every other turn, as a swift action, Janathia shreds 2 of a foe's armor with her weapon. That's really nice. Is that like permanent armor reduction? And Broad Swipes. Janathia's melee attacks deal 1 damage to all other foes within range. Well, we haven't seen a whole lot of armor, at least in the little bit I saw. I'm going to pick up Engage. Our tank having a taunt seems like a good idea. Nolir has grown stronger. Hunters like Nolir thrive in the wild, surviving through stealth and peerless archery. They master their surroundings and bring down large quarry. Nolirberg is now a greenhorn hunter. We have the options of Quelling Moss. Nolir has coated his weapons in Quelling Moss. His physical attacks apply Poison 1. As an action, he can toss a flask of burning moss that applies Poison 1 to all units in an area. Or Ember Arrows. When standing by a blaze, Nolir's ranged attacks have +0 damage, +1 shred, and start fires. Fire can't spread onto him. That's kind of fun. I like Quelling Moss better out of those two, I think. Or Fox Flight. Nolir has +1 speed. Once per combat, as a swift action, activate to dodge the next 2 attacks against him, which disables the passive. That's nice. I think I like Quelling Moss. Automatic boosts to all the basic attacks and seems nice, and poison is always a good time. We also found a Wolf Heart Bracelet, an augment worth 0.7 health. Well, we'll gotta give that to our tank, right? We could give it to either of them or salvage it for 1 ingot for crafting later. You're a natural, Janathia. You and I work well together. The creature's death is quiet, it seems to slip from life in a few stunned, hazy blinks. They'll spend a piece of the day getting the flames under control. The damage isn't as bad as it could have been. Townsfolk emerge from hiding to fight fires and clear debris, some full of curiosity, others visibly haunted by what they've seen. We should go. Lunthea is alone, which isn't necessarily worrying, but just... Anyway, a promise is a promise. Lunthea? She's at that ruined tower by now. It's a long way. Can we leave the town a mess? Others will take care of it, but Lunthea will be waiting for us. What happened today could be happening everywhere, couldn't it? Something about that tower is just stuck in my mind. It's like when you get apple skin in your teeth. Is it really? Huh? Yeah. Anyway, I just think... We said we'd meet her, we should. The tower in the hills, you've been there? Yeah, once. Actually, looking at the tracks, they come and they go in that direction. Genethia and Nolir follow the pounded path of monstrous feet, hoping for the best and dreading every other possibility. Alright, so now it looks like we're picking Nolir's relationship with Lunthea. We can have him be a little bit rivalry. Just be breathing, okay? So we can all yell and go home. Friendship? Let her be alive. Alive and unhurt. Or romantic. Lunthea, you said you'd be fine. Don't make me call you a liar. Let's go for rivalry. We've seen friendship already, and I'm not really seeing a romance between these two strangers. A wordless while passes between them, but the quiet only heightens their worry. I know you don't exactly get along with Lunthea these days, huh? Maybe not, no. You know what it is? It's like today. While we clean up what I'm going to assume was her mess, I bet that blunderhead's up there now without a care in the world. Okay, so scouting. In order to find sites in the wilderness, heroes must scout the land, which takes time. Click on an unscouted tile to show the scout action. Well, we've only got the one to explore, so let's explore Jeanwild and try to find Lunthea at the old tower. The heroes of Painted Fend are supposed to meet their friend at the old tower. Travel there on the map and scout the tile. Seems reasonable. Scout. We're going to go ahead and send both of our team. Looks like hunters are better at this, and the damage Nolir took in that battle has persisted. He did not cure. Last time I actually wound up not taking a hit at all, so I didn't even realize that. I wonder how bad that attrition's going to be. Let's go. The previous night. The tower where Lunthea had arranged to meet Genethia and Nolir is a place she often used to escape to as a girl. She knows its rooms and floors so well. She could survive being chased through them. And now I wait, I suppose. Dust gets deep as rain puddles in here. Alive is alive, until that beast breaks through. Keep it up, beast. We'll see which of us loses our heads first. It's a picturesque old tower, perfect for a plot twist. There's an elden dignity in the stones. They stand for standing, though it seems they guard nothing. But as the old will tell you, precious things go overlooked in a ruin. What lodges amid the bones of failure is often the dream that drove it. book. Why have I never... Gwong! Easy there. The sound effect descriptions for the beasts are kind of silly, and I'm having a little bit of fun with it. I guess you're wondering why I'm talking to myself, huh, beast? I'm also wondering... Lunthea bends to pull it loose. The book's heavier than its slender spine suggests. Wildermyth. Look at all this. It's full of strange stories, the folklore of folk long forgotten. The Tyrant's Medicine. That's a different title than I got last time, so these are probably randomized as well. Imparts no salient secret. It's only a fairy tale about a dying empress. She swallows stars every month to calm her cancerous anger. The Coin-Claw Bear and the Benstrom Fox is mostly a conversation between a miserly bear and a traveling fox. In the final sentence, the fox stamps the bear's soul into a coin and sends her around the world on the current of exchange. The Painted Fend Magician. Our town is Painted Fend. Interesting. Says a magician was born who banged solid rings together so stubbornly that they joined, and by this method he connected all the stories ever told. Lunthea reaches the last word of the final tall tale. A few blank pages are left. This book... Something in her feels like it's coming loose, but she can't tell exactly what. There's room for it in another story. Excuse me. There's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. Yeah, fine, so this is the beginning. Here in our yondering country, Lunthea writes, words are ready. Omens have formed in the fabric of everything, and she's beginning to recognize them now. Some are just misgivings. They've crept through her body like the sourceless aches one wakes up with. Others are more substantial. Now they seem lightning plain, a promise of thunder. For in the wild black woods where birds once belled, a hateful silence churns. Pain lights Lunthea's head, subsides. I made it to morning. She lowers her bleary eyes. Her story lies before her in luminous script. Empty pages have sprouted behind it. Why do I feel powerful? You can choose. She pulls the spoon from her pocket, or she slides a branch from the rubble. It's sturdy. It has a palm-loving twist. I imagine this is picking her weapon again. Since she has magic from a book, I'm pretty sure she's more of a wizard class. Let's try a spoon. It can match Genethea's frying pan. Open wide, beast. I'm getting out of here. Foe cards. We have a new enemy called a Rager. It charges without seeing, misshapen tusks swinging wildly. Okay. So, since I already played, I know the Mystic class more than I did last time. I wasted quite a few rounds figuring things out. The way this class operates, its main thing is the interfuse power, which essentially can animate any object I can see. And each object has then different powers and attacks that I can use with it. Now our enemy is back behind this barrier, so let's advance to where we can see it. The Rager stands revealed. Now, even though the barrier's here, I have magic. We're going to interfuse... Oh, let's go with... that workbench. Every object has a different thing, like this bookshelf has Splinter Blast, which does an AE attack, whereas this workbench has Barrage, which does a single target ranged attack. Tools are torn into a deadly whirl, rending targets in a nearby area with their tooly teeth. So we're going to go ahead and wake up the workbench. Now that it is interfused, we can have it use its power, Barrage, on the boar. Or sorry, the rager. It dodged. That's okay, let's try something else. Next we're going to interfuse the bookshelf it's standing next to. Try that Splinter Blast. One armor pierced, 2 damage. Okay, gotta find something new to use. Let's go for this anvil. The anvil has Shackle. Warp metal into grasping appendages that pin a single enemy for 2 turns. Sure. That killed it. Lunthea has grown stronger. As a mystic, Lunthea has acquired the knack for interfusing her spirit with earthly things, drawing on these bonds to enact formidable magics. We can choose to gain the ability Compulsion. Lunthea briefly interfuses with an enemy and forces it to move where she pleases. Open Mind. Lunthea can interfuse with 1 additional target. I believe it starts with a limit of 2, so that should allow us to have 3. Or Arches. Lunthea bonds with the earth and summons from Seedling and Silt a wondrous tree that pins surrounding enemies. So that's a power that's not dependent on having scenery on hand. I think I'm going to go with Open Mind. Having multiple things ready to go off seems like a very useful power. We picked up a Bracelet of Faith, which increases health by 0.7. A pair of bracelets expertly woven. And Lunthea is safe. More monsters roam the ruined halls and rattle the rotting furniture. But Lunthea moves quietly, sensing her way in the dark. Daylight lands on her wrist. Cool wind soothes her tired eyes. I don't know, wind in the eyes does not sound soothing, but okay. It's still the same world. She closes the tower door, gentle to make no noise. That was the Mystic's art that I did. Right, Tower? Where'd I get it from? Could it have just happened? Is it just one of those things? Things a woman's born with that might blossom in her life when she needs them? Well, wherever it came from, no one will want to mess with me now. Lunthea! Need to figure out what all I can do with this power, how to use it well. Lunthea, you bunkhead! Hey Lunthea, something happened? Genethia? Yes. Sorry, Nolir's voice just bounces off my ear sometimes. Genthea and I only barely made it. Yeah, see that smoke on the horizon? That's from the town. Yeah, that's Painted Fan. It burned? Garoo! Things are different than they were. Yeah, well, I don't know if you've ever seen something quite like this. A monster? Sure we have. We slay monsters. Okay, well, I do magic. Alright, and we need to next assault Amvir Lookout. You've discovered a new site. It's still under enemy control though. Click on the banner to assault it. Sure, let's get this site. Bringing in all three, of course. Nolir seems to have regenerated one of his health, but that's it, so we're gonna have to play a little cautious with him. Let's go. I'm not the one with plans. A perfect understanding isn't likely to emerge. What these beasts are, where they came from, what drove them to attack the town of Painted Fen. But letting them nest here feels like the wrong idea. Just do what comes natural? Sure, well... choose. Back at my house, it was pretty simple. Kill the beast before it kills you. Or, I just came out of there. If we're methodical, patient, we can fend them off at least. Last time I did courage, and it gave us a boost to damage for the first 3 rounds. Out of curiosity, I want to see the other one. Just a moment. I'll set up a board for you. Thank you, GM. Okay, all heroes +1 armor and warding. That's about what I expected. And we are facing a raccoon, scrambling through shadows. Its barbed appendages eagerly twitch. And a roe, hooves thrown sloppily around beneath it. It runs staggering, bellowing its agony. Oh, that's not very pleasant. And our enemies are right in front of us right away. We don't have to do a whole lot of seeking them out. Starting with Genethia, of course, our warrior. She's gonna get pummeled by these two, but I think she can take it. Actually, Guardian. End your turn and wait for an enemy to come within range. Hit up to 1 enemy with a melee attack. Actually, that's perfect. So we'll put her up here in front and guard. Next, Nolir. Can you shoot anyone right off the bat? You can, with a decent shot to hit and poison the raccoon. Do I want to put you anywhere else first, though? Maybe behind this cover. It's just a bucket, but it provides partial cover. Excellent. 3 damage, and it's poisoned. Now for our wizardy type, we need to interfuse something. That bookshelf has a nice AoE that I could probably use to hit both. That brazier has Steel Fire, which deals 5 magic damage at 4 range, and burns where it lands, and dealing half damage to any unit it passes through. Interesting. I think I like the AoE though. So we're going to possess the bookshelf and have it explode. 2 damage. I think that raccoon is good. Perfect. It died to the poison. And here comes the roe, and it dies to her. Oh no, it just got hit by her prepared action. Oh, it did kill it. Excellent. We win! Not a single point of damage taken. Because I'm such a brilliant tactician. Yes, yes. This is the nicest piece of loot I have seen drop so far. You can tell with the kind of gold background it's better than average. Brawl Guard. Warrior armor tier 1. 2 armor, 10 stunt chance. Percentage chance that attacks will inflict additional damage and stunt effects. That's kind of cool, so a type of crit, I guess. And 5 dodge. Little more than a combat harness with studs over the vital bits, this traditional brawler set is intimidating, but also freeing, allowing the warrior to become an elusive terror. Sounds good. And that is replacing Genethia's humble beginnings, I assume like humble beginnings, with a substantial upgrade in all categories. We also got a Cloak of Chivalry, 0.5 armor cloak, made from layered and woven grasses. Genethia is our tank, so we're gonna toss that on her as well. The last misshapen creature folds its bones and dies. Blue fluids darken the dust. Calmly into death. There's dignity in that. You make it sadder when you say that. Hey, look at us! Look what we did! Yeah! Day drops, day rises. Dusk is sweet, the sunrise sweeter. It's not long before they've cleaned the old tower up a bit. At least there hasn't been a storm yet. I dread all the leaks we'll find. In the other one I read, she wished for a storm because it would look so badass and dramatic over this tower. Someone's gotta keep fighting. On our roads, our hills, in our wild places. The threat will only grow. We all feel that. Let's not wait to be overrun. We're a company of heroes now. We'll walk the land. We'll fight. People need us. We'll give ourselves a name and make sure it's one they'll sing. Sounds like you've thought about this. Name the company. We'll be called the Brigade of the Aegis, suggests Nolir. Well, how about the Foundlings of the Stained Banner, suggests Genethia. And maybe the Paladins of the Ebony Boar, suggests Lunthea. I'm not a big fan of any of those. We're gonna call ourselves Lore Grinders. Which, I kinda love that there's this, startled reaction from them when the name of the group is apparently boomed out from the sky with no source because I, the player, don't like their choices, but hey, it works. After that, the three of them are inseparable. Rumors are rampant, heroes are needed. This world will be flooded in sorrows, but its defenders are joined by a fire that night. Here follow the tales of Lore Grinders. Be remembered. Calamities. Your enemies improve their strategies after every fight. Gorgon, row extra damage. This monster is now stronger, +1 damage to all rows we see in the future. Well, they haven't been too big of a threat. I think we can deal with it. That's the card view. It shows us the current effects they've gotten from their Calamity cards. This shows us the categories of monsters. For this story, we've got the Thrixel are active, the Morthagi, the Gorgons, which we've been fighting so far, the Drauven are not present in this game, and the Deepists. The monster view shows the known monster types for each of the categories, but we don't get the little details, we only see any effects on them. At least as far as I've found. Our next goal is to clear all hostile sites and scout Bellstride Arches. But first we got a little house cleaning to do around here, and hopefully it's gonna help Nolir regenerate a bit more. Apparently the healing rate is reduced out here because it's the wilderness, but if we secure... I thought we just secured Anvir Lookout. Oh, this is to actually fully secure it after we've done the monsters. Let's leave the cleanup to the list makers who love this sort of thing, like Nolir. Secure Anvir Lookout. The site can provide resources now and at the end of each chapter. Spend resources to upgrade hero weapons and armor. Alright? We can investigate thoroughly, catalog everything to find an item, or burn what's not useful, get it shipshape to work faster. Let's go for the item. Okay. All three of you are going to go at it. I am curious if he'll regenerate more if I take him out of this, actually. But if I do, it makes it take much longer, so nah. Okay. Oh, and look, he still seems to be regenerating. It's just slowly occurring over time, and now he's ready to go. Research complete. Scythe safe and knowledge sound. A thorough delving through the mysteries of Anvir Lookout has proven rewarding. I found most secrets unravel best in silence. Anvir Lookout will return to the hands of the common folk. While they tend it, the site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. hides, ingots, and spell threads. We also found a moon willow necklace, which increases speed by 0.7. I think we're going to throw that to our rogue. Okay, Anvir Lookout is now secured. We've got a recruitment opportunity over at Painted Fend. It will cost 3 of our 5 legacy points that we've accrued so far. And it seems we don't really have the option to explore more further south, so I'm not sure. I'm a little surprised. Last time this seemed a little more open, but we can explore up here instead. So we're going to go ahead and swing by Painted Fen, pick up a new recruit, and then head north into... let's go for the sandy levels. Okay, yep, we're all going, of course. Gonna keep the party together. Maybe if we recruit a lot more so that we can have a couple of solid parties on their own, they'll end up going in different directions, but for now I'm probably gonna keep everyone together. We can recruit a greedy coward named Uraria. I don't know how I feel about a greedy coward. So this is the first time I've done this. I'm gonna try hitting randomize. That gets us a romantic snark named Lunarek. Gonna give it another one. A hothead loner named Sani. Kind of interesting. A goofish coward named Uvir. Kind of interesting just to see what the options are. Romantic Greedwagon. I have no idea what that means, so... Oh, I can see a lot more. And you can customize it yourself. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we could create the character from scratch if we want to. I appreciate that. Body type is masculine and feminine, not male or female. We can choose between a few voices. Attracted to... oh, definitely anyone. Random romances, sure. Random rivalries, sure. Allow children... sure, why not? Okay, so we have a full-on character creator here. Once again, I approve freedom to have facial hair on feminine bodies. All kinds of different faces. That's actually quite a bit. I think that's pretty cool. I hadn't realized there was all this customization. And a whole procedurally generated story. All the men of Gwelderwatch loved to explain that Ada would grow up to be a heartbreaker. They would garland her delighted ears with kisses and teach her poems and frippery. An odd spell spur turned her voice to ash in the ears of all but the woman she'd marry. She fought to bring a glory to her family. Interesting. Sure. Recruit. I wonder, can I tweak any of their stuff? I think I can. Okay, neat. Obviously, any adventuring party I'm running has got to be queer as hell. You're back? I saw you leave a while ago. and I usually like to travel light. But it's becoming apparent that we'll need another person at some point. Are you interested? Perhaps. Let's get one thing straight, though. I'm not some second-string sod here, right? Of course not. I get my fair share of the spoils? Sure. My name in the songs? If you earn it. Oh, I will. So you're in? I am. What sort of skills do you need the most? We're gonna train Ada as a mystic. Why not? Okay, so... Oh, a bit more to that? Prepare recruit. Ada needs help getting her gear ready. We're all gonna help her out. It's apparently going to take a whole month. While time is passing rapidly there, this is letting us know how long until another calamity happens. And as time progresses, the monsters spread and infest areas. That's why those zones were getting all thorny. Ada is now a greenhorn mystic. We can give her compulsion, or two new ones, humanist, which makes her interfusions better. Mechanisms applies poison to enemies who next step to them while interfused as a passive ability. Metal gets its power upgraded, Tools gets its power upgraded, and Shards gets a new power entirely. Or Earth Scribe. Passive, allies may wall with interfused objects. That's cool, very tactically interesting. Stone, passive, grants extra armor, warding, and temp health. And active, Rock Shield. Oh, sorry, that's interfusing with stone, grants extra armor, warding, and temp health, I assume, to the stone itself. And active is Rock Shield. And bone gets Bone Wall, so a bunch of defensive powers, it seems. I like higher damage, so we're going to go with Humanist. I wonder if having two Mystics will be too much, though, in one party, because I feel like they might run out of scenery to play with. We'll find out. We are going to explore sandy levels. Morthagi are infesting this tile. They may ambush groups of 2 or fewer heroes, patrol, or take out the source to clear the infestation. So it looks like all these zones have gotten infested, and our target, I think, is all the way up there, so we've got a bit of a journey ahead of us. Let's start with sandy levels. I know I could go straight through the flower level Black Oaks Forest and get there, but I kind of feel like taking it a bit slow, exploring more, and kind of establishing our presence more rather than perhaps overextending ourselves through a lot of hostile terrain. So first we're going to go scout sandy levels. Okay, all of us are going. This would probably go a lot faster if I had a second hunter. I assume there are other situations where having more mystics is good though, so it'll balance out, I hope. Time is passing. Sandy Levels has been revealed. And it contains the Blustershire Weaver Works, which are occupied by Lurking Morgothi. Well, we gotta assault the place, and... Okay, so we've got Assault Blustershire Weaver Works or Lurking Morgothi, which I suspect are just the monsters themselves. I wonder if there's a real difference depending on what I click on. But let's assault these Morgothi. We're bringing our whole team. Attack! Anchors. Okay, I've got one. Favorite fruit. Apple. I knew you were going to say apple. Why did I know that? Okay, my turn. Favorite thing to fight. That's like asking my favorite rash. Least favorite, then. Might have to be more thoggy. Is that because they're over the next hill? I can never quite tell if they're alive or not. It's distracting. One of these days it's going to mess with my aim. And here I am, making a career out of them. I'm not that old, right? Sometimes I wonder if it's not too late to start over somewhere. I wouldn't, though, realistically. It'd reek of abandonment. Well, we appreciate that. What about you? What keeps you here? Got a job to do, or honestly, it gets you out of civilization? Let's go for that. This one's my loner anyway. She doesn't like crowds and people. I know civilization is what we're fighting for, and I'm fine with that, but I'm also fine with civilization flourishing not right on top of me. So I'm out here. Wait, what were you hoping to hear? No, I respect that. Diplomatic of you. I'm not exactly a pillar of shining light myself. Got enough enemies out there, don't make yourself one too. Fair, Morthagi do a fine job of that. We're getting close. Constructing the mission. Apparently we have insight. I wonder if that was from the choices we made, or just from them having had the conversation at all. Stunt chance doubled. I don't know that I've ever seen a stunt, so maybe I will this fight. Foe cards. We've got 2 sommeliers, hissing tubes, a gulping pump. It teeters forward on spindly legs, trailing virulent vapors. And a spectic. Well, 2 spectics. Gears crick and knuckles crack. Its one grasping claw reaches and strains. Okay. Well, we've got our tank right here. Going to move her to the front and Guardian. Next, we've got our archer fellow who has clear line of sight from here. We could do Quelling Moss. He could light a nearby lamp. I don't think that really matters for me. I guess this is the lamp. I'm not sure what lighting it really does other than making light. And we can just take a shot. Only is predicted to do 2 damage, but it'll get it poisoned, which I like. Okay. Oh, I need to remember next time his stealth power, which will give his attacks bonuses. Okay, for this, let's go ahead and move you up here so you can wall with Genethia. We're going to interfuse. Okay, so that's got a Splinter Blast. That's got a Splinter Blast. The wall has Discus. A stone disc launches at an enemy or scenery and then ricochets to another nearby enemy, dealing half damage to the second target. I doubt our enemies are close enough to that for that to happen. We could interfuse with the lamp, but I think that would only light it. Well, not a whole lot of great scenery options here. This is what I was worried about with 2 mystics. Let's go for the wall. Okay, and then we can use Discus on the Spectic. Ta-da! 1 dead Spectic. If it was ever alive. Okay, going to move you up to here so you can also join the wall train. And you're going to interfuse that log, which might have range to get a Splinter Blast. Nope, not quite. So that's it for you. Now we wait. What is the sommelier going to do? Going into that corner. Interesting choice. Okay, Genethia is going to move on up here, getting a bit towards that door, but still staying in a defensive posture in case that guy tries to come out from that nook he's in towards my party. Our guy here doesn't have a clear line of sight, needs to move forward, but we're going to go ahead and silk step over to there. Let's see if that gets us what we need. Still not in range, so we'll move him forward so he'll be in a better position next time. We'll bring him up here where he can wall with Genethia. Oh, duh. Sorry, I was thinking that was my archer I was controlling. I'm not. That was Lunthea. Whoops. That means that you could maybe still get something good from interfusing. Why don't you interfuse with this wall as well? And from that wall, we can have you do discus. Oh, select the source. Okay. From this one, and there we go. Apparently that did bonus damage for having been a stunt. We don't see anything too fancy, just bonus damage. Good enough? I like bonus damage. This one, Splinter Blast, is that in range to hit this thing? It is. So we're gonna blow up this log to kill the sommelier. Beautiful. I maybe should have brought her forward some, but that's okay. Alright, come on up. Open the door. Let's see what we get. Okay, well, nothing immediately concerning. But I know there's 2 more monsters somewhere, so they've got to be deeper in. I'm going to have her go ahead and continue guarding as we get the rest of the party into a bit more of a cohesive unit here. Let's see, bring you up here. Still no sign of the enemies, so you wait. You can come on up here, wall up with Genethia, and hopefully that'll give you a good interfuse from somewhere in here. Let's go for the Loom. Apparently it has a 6 range attack that deals 3 damage, and hobbling the enemy. Now I also gain line of sight when I interfuse, so if the monster was back here that would have showed it, but it is not. The monster's got to be way back here outside the building still. Okay. So, let's go ahead and bring you further in, and now that we know there's nothing immediately in this room. Ah, there's the monster. Okay, Ada. Yeah, you're way far behind the party. Get on up here. Here comes the monster. Lunthea's more exposed than I like, but hopefully it'll be okay. So all it's doing is sending off an alarm. I can deal with that. Alright, Lunthea, get in here. Or Genethia, get in there and save Lunthea. That's what I was going for. Slam! Knocked it back. Next, Noir. Can you just take a shot from where you are? Yeah, but I don't like where you are particularly over much, so you can come on in here, get a little closer, get a better shot. Bam! There goes the sommelier. And we still have one more of the other things somewhere in this area. So, Lunthea, let's have you interfuse with this chest. That should get us better line of sight out on that area. Still no monsters. So they're probably going to be back behind this wall, and I think the best way to approach is probably in through here still. Come on by this way. Let's see if that gets you any sight on the monster. It does not. We'll bring you up here. Okay. Ada, as always this fight, you seem to be way behind, so you're going to double move. Oh, there's the monster! Yay! Coming in a totally different direction. All good. Okay, Genethia, you don't have the range to get in and attack it, but you can come up here and guard. You can go ahead and silk step to get your stealth. Oh, did that end its turn? I thought he'd still have his attack. My bad. Lunthea, do you still have something over here interfaced? You don't. So, come up this way. Let's get you closer. Interfuse with that loom. And have that loom constrict the Spectic. Nope, not quite in range. Looks like. Oh, no, I have to pick one. That's what the problem is. Pick the loom. And constrict. There we go. Hurt it pretty good and cause some hobbling. Okay, bring you over this way. Interfuse. What's in range? I don't think that this shelves is... Yeah, not enough range to hit the Spectic. So we're just going to have you wait for now. Okay, Nolir. We kind of had a subpar round last time. Hope you can make up for it now. There we go. Oh yeah, watch this. Victory! Okay, we got a Scarf of Faith. It gives 0.7 health, and it's a warm scarf of twisted fibers. We'll gotta give health to our tank. Calamities. Your enemies improve their strategies after every fight. The Morthagi Watchmen are now a potential monster. Okay. So that took care of the infestation in this zone, so now if we try to secure that, it will not be as difficult. So that works pretty well. However, I think that this has been a good day's adventuring. We're going to go ahead and call it for now, get some rest, and try to advance our campaign further another time. Thank you for joining me on Let's Play... Oh, what was this game called? Oh, yes, Wildermyth. Let's play Wildermyth. And we will see you next time.